Parties are in my blood, my DNA. Even as a young child, I was passing appetizers, pouring wine, putting coasters under carelessly placed drinks, and even, occasionally, enduring the brush of a cigarette ember across my cheek or forehead by a careless guest, engrossed in tipsy conversation. I think of this as I dress for the Marcus's party. We live in San Miguel, Mexico now, where Lupita has ironed my organdy blouse, under which I wear a lace teddy, dressed to be noticed. I enjoy the rustle of my chiffon skirt, even as I remind myself that I'll not be, will never be, as noticeable as tonight's hostess, Christine Marcus, a woman whose impact is as pronounced as a prom queen's. I'm the kind who tends to remind others we've met before at that party or lecture or lunch, remember? And the person might strain or even lie. Oh yes, of course, good to see you again. Some of us have impact incrementally. Notice just one fragment per encounter. We do not hold up in memory until the parts begin to take form. We take time. Christine Marcus is of another genus, a finished product on impact, blessed with the seductive power of beauty, and I imagine she's always greeted by name. Beauty is a shortcut, I tell myself as I study the mirror. That's the easy way, like a hit song you get tired of. I'm more of a complex aria, I think, consoling myself, Madame Butterfly. I'd met her at a children's birthday party at a lovingly restored hacienda where patios were lush with violet bougainvillea and the ubiquitous geraniums were authentically kept in clusters of tin can containers. A fountain dominated the entrance, and on that day, a black cat perched watchfully atop the stone rim. It was her husband, Benjamin, who'd extended the invitation, my first to a Marcus party, just yesterday in the street. He'd left his motorcycle running and called out, "Are you coming to the party?" I glanced around to see if traffic was backing up, but the ancient cobblestone streets brought drivers to a snail's pace to protect the shocks on their old Chevrolets and Fords, and they made their way easily around him. 7 o'clock, he shouted out, "See you there." I approached the imposing stone doorway of the Marcus house alone, my husband at home with our girls. I let myself in through the wide open front door, and a welcoming waiter waves me forward into the party. At the bar, I ask the joven, in a pressed white shirt and wide red sash, for un vaso de vino tinto. He puts the glass on a tray and holds it out for me with the formality that infuses ordinary life here in Mexico. A cup has a saucer, a man a hat, a woman wears lace over her head to worship, and a boy's wet hair is cleanly streaked with the marks of a comb as he emerges from his dirt-floored home. I see Christine across the patio, filled with guests, early evening light lending a forgiving glow to their faces. A maid with a long braid down her back weaves among the guests, lighting candles perched on wrought iron stands. The carved antiques and Mayan artifacts line the high-ceilinged room. A sequined, fanned-out, Frida Kahlo-style skirt hangs on the wall like a painting, a stage set for Christine in a peasant-style blouse. Her skirt glimmers as it brushes the floor. She's talking with Manuel Garzon, a builder who's begun introducing himself as arquitecto at American parties. Christine touches his arm and suddenly laughs like a movie star, tossing her blonde hair back, apparently having the time of her life. The party is now bathed in candlelight, and people cluster at the bars or take hors d'oeuvres from trays preferred by bow-tied waiters. I know a few guests by sight or name, not much more. Some I recognize from the country club, locals who play golf and tennis and speak English. A few are parents or from my daughter's school. There are artists and jewelry designers, trust funders, and escapees from the brutal Texas heat. Bob Day approaches, blocking my view, and readies to kiss my cheek. I met him in a dog training class where his beagle, Bonnie, never improved. His gray hair is neatly combed. His mustache and beard are the same shade. He's a fuzzy bear man. I prepare for the prickly brushing my face will take. My eyes wander over to Brad Wapple and his wife here like us for a year with their young kids. Elizabeth Berber is bathed in perfume, not a hair out of place, her 75-year-old face stretched tight. And Bill Wolf is with young Rosita, 6 months pregnant with his first child at 60. At last, I'm tired. I've had more than enough to drink and decide to forego etiquette to leave quietly. I'll thank them tomorrow. But just as I reach the front door, in the foyer, empty of guests, there she is. "You're not leaving," Christine cries out. "The night's young. She's drunk too." I demur and say, "I should get home." "Well then," she insists with finality, "you're not taking a cab." She calls out for her husband. "Benjamin will drive you home." I should say, "No, thank you," or "Please don't bother, I'll be fine." A simple goodbye would do, but I don't. In the old houses here, the foyers have been converted to garages, and here is where Benjamin keeps his motorcycle, the engine of which he's now revving. Christine is opening the huge metal gate, while incongruently I notice she has freshened up her lipstick to a glowing pink. "Go on," she says, "get on," waving me toward the bike with a dramatic sweep of her arm.